Let me start by saying that pain is a very individual and personal experience. No two people will feel exactly the same type of pain, intensity, or frequency, even if they have exactly the same diagnosis. Well then, why do we experience pain? In short, pain is our body's alarm system to protect us from harm. Pain drives behavior to protect the tissues. What exactly does that mean? Well, if you step into a thorn while a bear is chasing you, you don't feel pain. This is because it is more important to run for protection. Lack of pain drives you to be able to run. The converse is also true. If the environment is safe, but you step into something sharp, you will experience pain, which will drive you to stand still and take the weight off the foot. A functioning alarm system is vital for life. Otherwise, we would never know when we have a serious injury, like a broken bone and probably shouldn't walk on it, or your appendix has just burst and you need to seek medical help right now. Contrary to past belief, pain and tissue damage aren't mutually exclusive. You don't need one to get the other. It takes 6 to 8 weeks for tissue damage to heal, yet in some cases, pain persists long after this period. Two thoughts. If pain was purely dependent on tissue damage or changes like joint degeneration, why do some people experience pain in the absence of any physical damage, such as phantom pain in an amputation? The second question to ponder is, why do some people experience relief of their pain when a placebo is administered? That's fake intervention in normal language. Are we missing some information? Clearly, pain is complex and depends on more than the biological aspect of tissue damage. It is in fact dependent on multiple factors: biological or tissue damage, psychological such as emotions, coping skills and beliefs, and social influences like culture and our peers. Hence the term the biopsychosocial model of pain. Pain is 100% an output of the brain. Now, I'm not saying your pain is in your head. It is in fact very real. Pain is, however, created by your brain after receiving signals from the body that it interprets as a threat. Even if the threat is not real, the brain will create pain to get you to behave in a way that creates safety, as mentioned earlier. It is constantly looking for a state of equilibrium between safety and threat, move or stay, after processing these signals. The signals are multifactorial. They can be temperature, pressure, physiological, cellular chemicals, emotions such as fear, joy or anger, and lastly, what meaning or belief you have attached to an experience. The brain will process these signals, weigh them up in columns of safety versus threat, and the one that dominates will determine the brain output, such as pain or muscle spasm or permission to move. The more factors that point to a threat, the more intense the pain experience will be. Try as much as you may, you cannot consciously think the pain away. The brain has thousands of bits of information coming at it every second of every single day and needs to be able to process it without disrupting normal function. Therefore, it all happens in the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is pretty lazy and will follow the path of least resistance, the path mostly or previously used. If you have a subconscious memory of a pain response to a range of stimulus that had a favorable outcome of safety according to the brain, it will choose that path again. This reinforces the pathway between the set of stimuli and resulting pain. The more often you experience pain, the better your brain will get at producing it. A vicious cycle. That is, until the perception of threat is challenged by a different stimulus and it has to adjust its output to maintain equilibrium. This is where the magic of rehab happens. We are going to challenge the brain's interpretation of threat by managing the stimuli in a way that begins to feel safe again. One of the methods used is graded exposure to the painful movement, or starting with an easy exercise and progressively making it more challenging. Another method is learning to manage stress or the psychological factors that weigh in on determining threat and finding ways of dialing them down. By understanding that pain is not an indicator of how much damage or healing has happened, but that it is actually an output of the brain, we have already begun the process of unraveling your pain.